Yeah, and everybody else trying to play catch up. Atlanta, big bats. Ronald Acuna, Austin Riley. Atlanta, ace of the staff, Spencer Strider. Couple of other young arms from the farm system. Atlanta adds Chris Sale, who's finally healthy after 2 years of misery, and adds Jared Kelenic, at one time a hot prospect with the Mariners. I just think Atlanta's got all the bases covered. Philadelphia, their entire offseason was making rich men of Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler, and why not?
Mm-hmm.
Philly is really deep in pitching in the starting rotation. A healthy and happy Bryce Harper, a lot of support bats around them, and playing in that bandbox, they hit home runs. And if the pitching holds up, and I think it will, I think Philadelphia and Atlanta are going to be right there. Hell, they could wind up being tied, I think. New York Mets, the big spenders a year ago, those guys are gone. All those pitchers that were the headline guys last season left and are all hurt. The Mets have signed Japanese pitcher Kodai Senga, second year, comes back. He's going to have to be the ace of the staff. Their rotation includes journeymen like Sean Manaea, Adrian Hauser, Luis Severino. That's in the Big Apple.
Yeah.
Big budget. That's their rotation. I think Peter Alonso's got some good bat support teammates in the lineup. And by the way, this might be his farewell tour. He's a walk free agent.
Really?
And there's no negotiations with him because he's represented by
Scott Boras.
You got it, pal. So you got the Mets in third. I think it's a disgrace. If the Oakland A's are a disaster area, what's happened in Miami is a disgrace. They fired their female general manager who helped build them into a playoff team, and she left. They got Luis Arias, unbelievably great spray hitter. They've got the feisty second baseman, center fielder, but they lose Sandy Alcantara. Poor Skip Schumacher. I don't think he's got enough pitching, and now he's down some bats too, and he's got a brand new general manager and an owner that just flat refuses to spend any money. I don't understand why Bruce Sherman's allowed to own this baseball team the way he's run this baseball team. So I get them finishing so far back they can't see first place. And they're not last because of Washington. I mean, this has really been a crummy rebuild thing that Mike Rizzo and his staff have undertaken. Washington is just, they're going to commit to kids and they're going to try to build it with kids. They got Josiah Gray, who came from the Dodgers. Mackenzie Gore came from the Padres. They've obviously got the shortstop, C.J. Abrams. They've got a lot of young kids in the system that look like it's going to be major leaguers. I don't think there's a superstar there. And then the Joey Gallos of the world, they signed a whole bunch of aging one-year rental guys. To me, it's a really ugly rebuild considering what they used to be when they had Juan Soto, what they used to be when they had Steven Strasburg, to where what they've become and what they're going to have this year. I just don't like it.
This division is interesting. It's because there's so many haves and have-nots, right? And I think the MLB Players Union has been complaining about that. There's teams that just don't want to spend money. They don't seem like they want to win. And it's not just Oakland. You were just saying it's Miami. It's a lot of other teams. But you got to love these teams at the top. The Phillies and the Braves are just tremendous. Remember we were saying last year that the Phillies had that clubhouse dugout vibe that we all thought the Padres should have had. So these two teams, it'd be a slugfest. Wouldn't surprise me to see either one of these two teams actually get into the World Series and knock the Dodgers out.
Wouldn't surprise me to see them tied for first place.
Oh, for sure.
In the National League. Okay, let's move.